I just want to say that when you are 29 and back into the dating world, it is rough. Like, I have not...
So I turn 30 tomorrow, and I'm just not ready.
Dating in your 30s sucks, but for real, am I ever gonna get married?
So now I'm over 30. That means I'm expired.
If you haven't been in a relationship and you're in your 30s, you are not alone.
Anybody else in their 30s thought when we get to 30 or 35 would have everything figured out? I felt like once I hit 30, life will make sense. And honestly, these days, every day, I'm like getting more and more what the F moments.
At what point do we just give up? Because at this point, I think I might just have to.
Okay, so I'm freaking pissed. Pissed. So, fun little story time. Here we go. So, my boyfriend of 8 months, almost a year, and we've known each other for a year now, straight up ghosted me.
Just a little PSA for anybody who might be planning an April Fool's joke on me this year. Every day is April Fool's when you're attracted to a man, so.
I'm 38 and single, and I would never go on a walk or a hike date for a first date. Not only do I think it's low effort, but it's also a safety concern.
If you are a single nurse, you've never been married, you don't have kids, just know you're not the only one, because same.
I think I'm in my man-hating era. No, I don't.
Where are the men that give princess treatment? Because I'm telling you now, I am not going near another man who doesn't give me princess treatment.
I just want to say that when you are 29 and back into the dating world, it is rough. Like, I have not had to date since I was like 22, 23. Got divorced, and then I went straight into a new relationship for the last 3 years. So getting back out there is so weird because I'm at the age where, like, now most of the guys my age are married. So you've got Mr. 39-year-old, I work too much to have a family. And then you've got Mr. 48-year-old who would give me the world if I'd let him, but he can't give me kids because he don't want kids anymore. He's already been there, done that. And then you've got Mr. 24-year-old, I'll give you the world if you let me. And then the guys your age are like, I don't want a girlfriend. Like, you either have to go way older or way younger. Because the guys your age are not it. What do you do?
Where are all the good men at?
Right here, waiting on a good woman. So the question is, where all the good women at? We are working and staying home because we don't want to get hurt again. Being to ourselves because another heartbreak just won't work.
Dating in your 30s sucks. I just spent the last hour on Hinge and Bumble swiping. Why is it that every man that sends me a rose or whatever is like 50 or 60 years old? Why? Why? I'm on my second thing of ice cream. But for real, am I ever gonna get married? I know I have to go on a date in order to get married. What if the one that you wanted got away? So I'll just keep eating my ice cream and swipe because this sucks. Does anyone have any advice or tips or anything? Thanks, bye.
You know, that is a great question. What if the one you want got away? That is a question many of these 30-year-old women should ask themselves. By now, they've likely experienced enough to realize that finding a quality man isn't as easy as they once thought. The same men they dismissed in their 20s for being too nice, too stable, or not exciting enough are now thriving, married, successful, and no longer available. Meanwhile, these women are left wondering where all the good men went, not realizing they may have already crossed paths with them and let them go. At this stage, reality starts to hit hard. The dating pool isn't what it used to be, and the men who once chased them now have higher standards or have checked out completely. They start reminiscing about the past, thinking about that one guy who genuinely cared for them but was taken for granted. And that's when regret sets in. The "I should have given him a chance" thoughts creep in. But it's too late. He's moved on, and the options left aren't what they once were.
Why do women have expiry dates?
Now, single women in your 30s, if you're ready to be in a committed relationship with a man, you need to work smarter, not harder.
Sometimes, as a girl who is 30 and single, I get really hard on myself for not being where society told me that.
I firmly believe that you know if someone is your person, like, immediately. Within the first couple dates, like, you have this overwhelming sense of connection to them and, like, that you want to spend every waking moment with them. I have been in love with one person in my life. The second I met that person, I knew that I was going to fall in love with them. People who say, oh, just wait it out, like it'll grow, like you'll grow attracted to them. Like, I don't believe in that. I think you can love someone more over time, but your initial attraction and connection with them, it's instant, it's chemical, like you know right away. I don't know why I felt compelled to share it on the internet today, but I did. Happy 2025.
If you haven't been in a relationship and you're in your 30s, you are not alone. Research has ranged from either 20 to 30% of individuals in their 30s have never been in a committed or serious relationship. And it may feel like it's just you, but really there's so many people who haven't been in relationships. And just because you haven't been in a serious committed relationship doesn't mean that you haven't been able to be in one or that you wouldn't be wonderfully in one should you find the right person for you.
I also deleted my Hinge 3 weeks ago because I was like, oh, I just don't have the mental capacity to deal with a man. And I decided I was going to move in May. So like, what's the point of me seeing someone for 2 months unless they're just going to be a body? But I didn't want to be like, hey, I'm just looking for a body, because I just feel like that it's just like insensitive. And I just feel like it takes like the human connection out of it. Whereas like, I feel like the whole point of like seeing someone and like dating someone is like trying to see if there's like a connection that could be formed. But it's tough because I'm in my early to mid 20s and I feel like this is like prime time, you know, like I am in my prime right now, and it's probably like the easiest time for me to like get someone, because one, like I'm building myself up, but I still have like that flexibility to like form a really like ride or die relationship with someone. And like I want that ride or die relationship. I don't really want someone to kind of like come into my life like in my 30s when like I've already figured everything out. I just feel like when you meet earlier and you kind of like form together, that bond is just so much stronger. But also like I love being single. Like I feel the need to date, but like I really don't feel empty at all that I'm not in a relationship. And like, I feel like the next relationship I'm going to be in is like, he's going to be my husband. And I don't plan on lowering my standards just to be in a relationship. So I just feel like it's going to be bodies on bodies until I find my husband. So that's the dilemma. Like, I just feel like it's going to be strictly casual or my husband.
Oh, how disgusting.
You know, I was kind of convinced this woman was actually going to prioritize finding a husband until she mentioned she's going to be hooking up with a bunch of men until she finds the one. At that point, I knew she wasn't serious. How does that even make sense? How will she have time to find a husband if she's too busy having casual relationships? The logic is completely backwards. If marriage is truly her priority, she should be vetting men for long-term compatibility, not wasting time on meaningless flings. This is exactly what I mean when I say some of these women burn through their best years, and then, later on, try to find a good man to dump all their emotional baggage on. The more she indulges in hookup culture, the more she gets emotionally jaded, and the fewer high-value men will see her as a serious candidate for marriage.
All right, quick question for my fellow 35 and older ladies who are single. At what point do we just give up? Because at this point, I think I might just have to. I'm going to be 39 next year, and every year around the holidays, I'm like, oh, this is the year. This is the year I'm finally going to have someone in my life. And, oh, what do you know? It's almost December, and no. And with what's out there and what I've seen, like, I just don't see it ever happening. So do we just give up now and live life, or do we continue? Because, like, I don't see a future with anyone that's out there. And, like, I'm losing hope each day, like, more and more. So what are we doing? If we're not losing hope, what are we going to do to find someone? Because it's not Hinge or Bumble or any of those apps. Like, and I just don't know what to do. So what are we doing?
What to do when that guy asks you to split the bill? I'm going to give you such a great solution that will never happen to you again. Here's what you're going to do. You're not even going to wait until you finish dinner. No. Whether it's lunch, whether it's drinks, whether it's dinner, as soon as it hits the table, as soon as you get your drink, as soon as you get your lunch, as soon as you get your dinner, you're going to look down at it, you're going to look up at the person, and you're going to say, thank you so much. This is very kind of you. It looks fantastic. Boom. Done. You understand me? No worrying, no stressing. You've thanked them in advance. Now they know they're the hero that's going to be paying the bill. All right? I hope it helps.
If you're single and in your 30s, I feel like you're going to relate to this. Or honestly, if you're just a single woman who is going through it in the single journey, I was talking to a friend the other day, and we were both talking about how we're both single. I'm 30, she's 32. And we were like, what the fuck? Some people, they meet their significant others in high school. They meet in college. And we are out here doing all the work that it takes to just meet a man that we remotely feel attracted to. We are like, I've literally done plant medicine. I do breath work. I meditate. I manifest. I'm doing all the things. And meanwhile, Steve and Susie over here met when they were 24. They're just living their lives. And it's like, what else must I do?
There's been this new wave of single Gen Zers that have no idea where to look for their next date because they claim the dating apps aren't working and they have to look lost in Home Depot. But I'm here to be honest with you guys. You do not need to look lost in Home Depot, first of all. Second of all, you guys don't leave your house. How are you expecting to meet new people when you guys just sit at home all weekend, all week? You're either at work or at school, not going out of your way to meet anyone, not going anywhere, not putting yourself in uncomfortable situations to meet people. How do you expect to meet anyone that you would possibly want to date if you're always in your house? The secret is literally to go outside.
If you are a single nurse and you are in your 20s, you're in your 30s, you're in your 40s, you've never been married, you don't have kids, just know you're not the only one, because same. And I don't know why, but I've really been thinking about like why that is. For me personally, I just like don't want to go on a first date on my like days off, or like if I only have one day off. Like I don't want to spend dinner with someone who like I might get along with, I might not, like. But I was just thinking about it and I was like, well, if you don't meet people, you won't meet people. It doesn't help that I live in like this small military community, so we all date each other pretty much. But last night I was on a date at like a brewery, and I turned and the guy I'm going on a date with tonight was on a date at the same brewery, and we just were like, see you tomorrow. All that to say, it's Sunday. If you're not doing anything, download a dating app, go on the date. Our parents are getting concerned.
Dating in your 30s is basically meeting a cute guy, kind of having a vibe with him asking for your number, then asking you on a date, you saying yeah, sure, why not, and then right before the date and the entire day leading up to it, you dying to cancel because you just showered and you just want to get in bed and watch Housewives and never speak to this random stranger ever again. But instead, you put on your mascara, you go meet up with him for hot chocolate from Earth Cafe. I don't know. I like said I was going to do dry January today as like maybe a potential get out of the date card. And then he's like, no, I don't drink, period. So now we're getting cookies and hot chocolate. But yeah, that's being 30.
I think something that many women might miss when dating is that they never stop to consider that they might be the problem. This woman found a green flag man, someone who's likely stable and has good values, but she's still complaining because he doesn't drink alcohol. Seriously? This just shows how many women overlook good men for the most trivial reasons, only to turn around and wonder why they keep ending up with players and toxic men. Instead of appreciating the qualities that actually matter, they focus on the smallest, most insignificant things and use them as an excuse to walk away. The irony is, if this same guy was a heavy drinker and partied all the time, she'd probably be complaining about that too. It's as if some women are wired to find faults in good men, while completely ignoring the glaring red flags in toxic ones. Honestly, this woman is a red flag.
So I turn 30 tomorrow, and I'm just not ready. I'm still single. I don't have a job. I live at home with my parents, and I just thought I'd be at a different stage in my life. But that's not the worst part. The worst part is all of the younger, hotter guys who will set their age limits on Hinge and Tinder to 29 because they don't want to be matching with 30-year-olds.
I think that it's 100% the women's fault. 100%. Because it's like, all right. you put a piece of meat in front of a tiger, you can't be mad he ate it. You put the piece of meat right in front of him. Now, I know everyone will say, Pearl, don't compare women to meat. But I will. I just did. Now, yeah, because men are in control of relationships. Women are in control of sex. So we pick who we sleep with, men who pick who they wife.
Why does everybody make it seem like it's so bad to be single? I'm 34 and single. I'm good right now with it. I'm good. I got up when I wanted to. I ate whatever breakfast I wanted to. I went to Whole Foods and I got a sea bass tonight for dinner, some veggies, portion for one, okay? I'm good with it. Now I'm at Starbucks, drinking my coffee. And now I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I wanna do the rest of the day.
Madam, are you trying to convince us or yourself? Many women get on camera and proudly declare that they're good with being single in their 30s, like, congratulations, this didn't need to be uploaded. If you were truly happy with your situation, there would be no need to try and convince others. The fact that you're making a whole video about it tells me that deep down, you're not as content as you claim to be. The reality is, people who are genuinely happy with their lives don't feel the need to justify their choices to the world. They're too busy living and enjoying themselves. But when someone repeatedly has to announce, I'm fine, I'm happy, I don't need a man, it starts to sound more like self-reassurance than confidence. The truth is, many of these women followed the independent woman narrative for years, thinking they had all the time in the world. Now, in their 30s, they're realizing that dating isn't as easy as it once was. So, instead of admitting that they might have made some wrong choices, they double down and try to act like this was the plan all along.